Welcome to Goat Island. I'm your host, the Big Ka Huzzi, and this is your weekly sports. There's no I in team, but there is in win. So let's start with team sports. First off in football, the GOAT club will face Brighton shortly, and we're expecting a dominant win with a 2-goal lead from the Reds. And Sunday they'll face Crystal Palace. And we're calling a simple clean win because the focus will be all on the Scousers lifting the trophy. And yes, it is the final week before the Premier League officially ends, but let's be honest, it ended weeks ago when Liverpool won. Everybody wanted to know what would happen if they didn't win. I guess we'll never know. Next in rugby, the Stormers beat Cardiff Rugby, and there was never any doubt the city rallied behind the boys and they got it done with a 10-point lead this past weekend. Going further south in Super Rugby Pacific, Moana avenged their L from our boys, the Auckland Blues, 2 days ago. But I mean, it was only a 6-point difference. Relax, Audie. Calm down. In the NRL, the Broncos have just had their third back-to-back loss. And the Warriors are second on the log. Been regretting this decision, but it's okay. Let's just watch this season and we'll make an informed decision ahead of next season. And before we switch from team sports, Manchester United. And yes, you may ask, why do we not address the Red Devils when we talk football? And the reason is that you can't exactly call what United does football. That being said, they are in the Europa finals. So, well done. Even hoping that they win, just so that Arsenal fans have to deal with the fact that even Man United got a cup this season and they didn't. Now enough about fitting into the group. It's time to talk about combat sports. In the world of boxing, shockingly, the only thing we have to react to is influencer boxing. And the Island Boys fought each other on Aiden Ross's brand risk promotion card. And honestly, this was an L for both of them. I mean, do we even know their names? And Darren Till beat Darren Stewart to extend his undefeated boxing streak on the Misfits boxing card. But look, this fight was messy. And Darren looked his age, and moving forward, if he doesn't tighten up on his boxing, it's not going to end well for the gorilla. Listen, the fact that the only thing in boxing this month to still talk about is Caleb Plant fighting someone I've never heard of and influencer boxing says enough about what kind of month this is for boxing. Was really promising before it started, but it's just been a letdown. And from the squared ring to the octagon, let's get to MMA. The last UFC fight night for May was this weekend and it was as shit as we thought. There was 7 out of 11 fights ending with a finish, but only one of those finishes were on the main card and was the main event, with Gilbert Burns getting starched by the undefeated new kid on the block, Michael Morales. But still, Paul Craig's opponent pulled out minutes before the fight, so although there was plenty of action from the up-and-comers, there was just one known fighter, and he got his ass handed to him. Now, UFC 316 is in just under 3 weeks, but we'll make our picks for that card in our first sports episode of June. But recently, Dana White gave us massive news. Uncle Dana officially confirmed the main events for not 1, not 2, but the 3 pay-per-views that follow UFC 316. In the main event of UFC 370, El Matador Ilia Topuria faces Charles Du Bronx Oliveira for the vacant lightweight title. For UFC 318's main event, we have Max the Blessed Holloway versus Dustin the Diamond Poirier for the BMF title in a lightweight bout. And this is not only Dustin's last fight, but it is also the match that will complete the trilogy for these two fighters, with Poirier having won both previous fights, first by submission and the next by decision. Finally, for the main event, for the UFC 319 pay-per-view, it is Dricus Stillknox du Plessis defending his middleweight title against Khamzat Borshmayev. And it's safe to say, alle veertie wat ons veertie. There were also major fight night main events announced, but we'll still be doing our month-to-month overviews and predictions, so don't worry about that yet. All we have to say is, look, we love the GOAT, and we can't wait until he decides to grace the octagon again with his presence. But Jones has not been stripped of his heavyweight title, whilst Aspinall has fought for and defended the interim heavyweight title. And no, we don't have a problem with this, because Bones can do what he wants, as he should. But listen, with that being said, there was absolutely no need to make Islam vacate his lightweight title, just because his next fight will be upper weight class and for the welterweight title. If anyone in this current era deserves the accommodation to be a double champ and hold two titles simultaneously, it's Islam. Regardless though, Dana must have been in the kitchen thinking about his next Fuck It Friday, because these next 3 months of fights are unexpected and damn good for us fans. Is it sports? Is it entertainment? One thing it isn't is fake. Time for wrestling. WWE's week barely made a dent. Monday Night Raw is trying to return to the days of Monday Night Rollins, but Dirty Dom is looking like the biggest straw at the moment, with the writers messing around Jay, taking their time with Seth and Braun, and they still haven't pulled the trigger on who El Grande Americano is behind the mask. Thank you. Friday Night SmackDown, kind of slowed down, other than them finally letting Tiffy Time have a good run and keeping Drew, the undefeated Twitter champ, busy. They've kind of slowed down. I mean, bringing in Jeff Cobb only takes attention away from far too. And I mean, he's not even Samoan. So why are you positioning him like a replacement within Bloodline 2.0? All things considered, this past week from WWE was a 5 out of 10. Disappointing. There's only one more major date left in May for WWE, and this past week, finally, they've announced most, if not all, of the matches for it. Of course, we're talking about Saturday night's main event 39, which will be in Tampa, Florida, this Saturday, the 24th of May. As of this moment, there are 4 matches for this PLE, so let's make our picks. Damian Priest, the Bondage Undertaker, takes on Drew McIntyre inside of a steel cage, and we're going with the Scottish psychopath Drew for the dub. John Cena is going one-on-one with R-Truth in a singles match, and even though it's a non-title match, I think this is going to be used to remind the audience just how good the last real champ is. We're going with Mr. You Can't See Me for this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if, because it's a non-title match, they have John lose with interference to drive his character even further in his downward spiral. Next, we have tag team action with the team of Sami Zayn and CM Punk fighting the team of Seth freaking Rollins and the explosive Braun Breaker. And this one has got to be Rollins and Breaker. Clearly a filler match and a tool to establish power from the new duo against well-established superstars in Zayn and Punk. And we're predicting that in this match, Braun is going to remind us that he's got that dog in him. Finally, we have Jey Uso defending his World Heavyweight title against Logan Paul. And look, I'm kind of on the fence with this one because it feels like Logan might be the next member of Team Rollins, and having him win with their interference would be gas. But we got it right with the Bloodline always 4 letters, 1 word, oh, yay, and still Jey Uso. Before we move on from wrestling, AEW finally made the move on MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. And as of this moment, what does Maxwell do? Well, it looks like he hurts people. He hurts people. Fuck. How sad is it that this is genuinely all AEW has going for them? Listen, there's always room for improvement, and as long as you're breathing, it means you can and should be better. It's time for Ka Huzzi Says So. Honestly, guys, it's not about losing weight. It's about lowering your body fat percentage. And really, you just gotta want it enough. Don't think, oh, I'm working out, so it's hard, but it's only a month or 2, and at the same time, you're eating whatever you feel like, because you're listening to your body. If your body's fat, you shouldn't be listening to it. Oh, but it's difficult to lose weight? Shut the fuck up. It's more difficult to look like that. Now, muscle, on the other hand, is more difficult, especially if you've been weight training for a while. And I've said it before, but consistency. And that doesn't just mean train with a consistent frequency. It means consistent volume, consistent effort, consistent rest, consistent eating, and consistently pushing yourself to do more. Lift heavier and go to failure. And yes, it hurts. But you know what hurts more? Never reaching your goals. And yes, time management is a much wanted, hard to get skill. But remember, time is like money, except money you can make back. Time, once it's spent, poof, that's it. It's gone. Trust me, if you start treating time like money, you'll start spending it more on the things that you can benefit from and waste it less on what you feel like. One last thing, it's not enough to just want it. And it doesn't matter whether you need it. You have to believe it. Mind over matter is real. And you'd be shocked at what your body can do if you have unshakable belief in yourself. It starts here. That's a wrap for this week's sports drop. You should probably, like and subscribe. If you have any thoughts, drop a comment. And from Goat Island, this is the Big Ka Huzzi. We'll check you again.